Welcome, Cancerians, to the month of May 2018. A moment ago, I said 2017, and I'm going, oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm Megan of North Star Astrology, and this is another general transits reading for those of you born with your sun, moon, and or rising signs in the sign of the crab. And the month starts out with your ruling planet in the fifth house of romance and creativity, sextiling Mars. Now, mind you, I'm reading from my placements from the American Ephemeris from the year 2000 to 2050, and I'm like trying to make sense of it all in my own writing, and like here's the glyphs and stuff. So this is the behind the scenes. Okay, so having your moon, your ruling planet, the moon, in your fifth house, sextiling Mars in the seventh house, Mars in Capricorn, your opposite sun sign, brings you a very harmonious energy from being able to emotionally connect or emotionally be more assertive and manifest a very transformational time for you and your significant other, as the seventh house deals with the significant others and or one-on-one relationships. Then on May 4th, the moon goes into your sixth house of health and work and service given, and trines the planet Uranus in your 10th house in Aries, the house of career and public standing and the ego. And what this can do for you is give you the ability to emotionally communicate, as Mercury is here, from the heart to your higher ups or whoever you might be working with, your colleagues, in order to perhaps ask for a promotion. And you are here. This is Earth. On May 6th, the moon then goes into your seventh house, going into Capricorn, squaring Uranus. So 3 houses away. So the moon then squares Uranus. So there might be a little bit of a tension. There might be tensions with perhaps business partners and or sudden, irritations or something. Because having the planet Uranus in Aries is an aggressive position, but also suddenly, like frontier type things where, I don't know, it's a kind of but it can be good. There's always the good with the bad. Then on May 8th, the moon goes into your 8th house in its last quarter phase in Aquarius. So you may very well be doing your very last minute taxes, or gain a last moment resource. And that happens at 17 degrees 27 minutes Aquarius. Then on May 9th, your moon, your ruling planet, the moon, goes into your 9th house of religion and philosophy, sextiling, let's see, May 9th, the moon sextiles, I'm lost here, wait a minute, May 9th, the moon in Aquarius, oh, God, never mind, May 9th, the moon is still in Aquarius on May 9th. This is what Mercury retrograde does to me sometimes, and it's irritating. Mercury sextiles Uranus at this point. After it's squared here in your 7th, it now sextiles. So now, again, like I said, with that last quarter phase, might as well keep that there, you very, very well may have the ability to ask for resources other than your own. Then on May 11th, the moon then goes into your 9th house finally in Pisces. Oh, sorry about that noise. That was my pointer hitting my tripod. Then the moon sextiles Mars on May 11th. Now here we have again a very pleasant energy from your feeling planet to the warlike or aggressive planet, the planet of manifestation, and the planet of transformation and delving deep into things. And with all of this energy in your 7th house of relationships, sextiling the moon and Neptune here, it's just such a pleasant time of the month, and you will go forth maybe asking your significant other for their hand, because this is such a very romantic placement between your ruling planet, the moon, along with Neptune in Pisces. Then on May 13th, Mercury leaves Aries and goes into your 11th house of friendships, into the sign of Taurus. And the 11th house deals with hopes, wishes, and goals, and friendships or group activity. And once that happens, you'll be more inclined to be a little bit reticent, but don't worry too much about that. Then on May 15th, the planet Uranus leaves Aries and goes into Taurus, into your 11th house of friendships. And that is a generational planet because it's far out there, and Uranus lasts for 7 years in your 11th house. So it'll remain in Taurus for 7 more years, giving the abrupt energy of it, a more stable energy. And then on May 15th as well, the moon comes into your 11th house, becoming a new moon. And then trines Mars. So from your 11th house to your 7th house, there is plenty of new group activities and events concerning and relating to or taking along with your significant other to meet your friends or vice versa. Most likely you'll be introducing your significant other to your friends in new group activities or events. And that happens at 24 minutes 36 seconds Taurus, that new moon. Then the moon glides on into your 12th house in Gemini and conjuncts the moon conjuncts Venus. So now you have the ability to go within, as that new moon is still an energy that continues to flow around for a couple of at least 2.5 days. So you'll have the ability to love your feelings. You'll start to accept your feelings. Anything that might flow up from your subconscious mind, you'll start to enjoy that. And you'll accept your dreams as not necessarily reality, because this is the Piscean house, but you'll see it as you'll feel dreamy, in other words. And then on May 16th, Mars leaves Capricorn and your opposite sun sign and enters your 8th house into Aquarius for a time. I don't know how long, I gotta look into that. But it is nice to have this change from a stolid feeling to a more happy, energetic, excited kind of energy. And that happens on May 16th. Then on May 19th, Venus leaves Gemini and enters your sign, Cancer, into your 1st house of the self and body. And what this can do for you is make you want to learn a new hobby. Perhaps like myself, I'm learning how to cook, and you may possibly overindulge though, but you will love learning how to cook, which would be, if you don't already know that by now, I'm sure most Cancerians are very natural at being cooks. And but what this will do for you is leave that intellectual and come into the more loving, nurturing position, which you love, and others will see you as super attractive, and you'll feel good about yourself, your physical self and or your emotional self. Then on May 21st, the sun leaves Taurus and enters your 12th house and enters Gemini. And that's wonderful because we all need to progress and change, but for you it's wonderful because you can feel more at ease because it's in a water house. Once it leaves Taurus and goes into Gemini, it's now in the Piscean house, but it's your sister sign, so next door here, and this gives you the ability to use more logic instead of feeling in any way oversensitive or anything like that, you know. And then on May 22nd, I believe, the first quarter moon happens also in your sign, I believe. I think, let me think here. Excuse me. So, let's see. Trining. Let's see. Yeah. The first quarter moon, new happenings, not just new, but first phase beginnings, trines Jupiter. Excuse me, no, wrong. The first quarter moon happens in Leo, joining along with the north node of the moon in Leo in your second house of money and what you value. Then squares Jupiter 3 houses away, okay? And this gives you the ability to be emotionally driven towards spending on a romantic partner. And just watch out for any overspending because of the planet Jupiter here in the 5th house. But you'll enjoy all that. And then on May 23rd, the moon goes into your 3rd house of communications and then trines Pluto in your 7th house in Capricorn. So Earth. Mercury is mutable Earth. Virgo is mutable Earth and Capricorn is cardinal Earth. So here we have a very harmonious trine energy from your 3rd house of communications to Saturn and Pluto but this is a trine from the moon to Pluto, and this happens at 6 degrees 53 minutes or at the 6 o'clock hour, I think that says. Okay, anyway, then the moon enters your 4th house of the home naturally, but it's in Libra when it's Cancer rising, and it then squares Pluto. So beware of any antagonistic, emotional show of upset especially with Pluto. The moon square Pluto can be rather so, and then on May 28th, the moon, let's see, well, our only opposition of the month, the moon opposes Mercury, and in the 5th house to the 11th house, and so you might want to be careful in communication, emotional communications with existing friends or new sudden outbursts with friends. But then again, as I always say, this is a point of awareness. So maybe you'll be more aware that a friend may very well become a romantic partner, as the fifth house deals with romance. Then finally, on May 30th, we end up having a full moon, and that too, well, wait, now the moon comes in, the full moon is in your sixth house of health and work, which then would end up opposing the sun in your 12th house. So that's what we end up with the month, is the full moon ending up the month. And for you, Cancer, that's a wonderful thing. That gives you the ability to really shine and end that month out with a, like, woo. I had, you can say to yourself, I had a really fruitful month. So if you enjoyed my reading, please give it a like, comment down below, and/or subscribe. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next month.